Liverpool v everybody. How's everybody doing on this Friday? We finally made it through another week. And yes, it is Friday. The weekend is here, and we know that means football again, which I'm excited about. I just wanted to come and talk about Liverpool, just where we are right now in my mind, particularly after some unsatisfactory results. Obviously, you think of the Leicester game, Chelsea, Spurs, and then obviously last night, Arsenal. Um, I don't know how much of a minority I'm in, um, but just based on some of the things that I heard last night from different channels, I just wanted to come and give my few cents on it. Um, I think it's quite obvious that Liverpool could use more players. I think it's obvious that it's frustrating to see other teams around us making moves, other teams that you would consider lesser than Liverpool financially, as far as status, history, and obviously a team or two that are better equipped in those categories, or particularly financially. At the same token, this is what we have. And for better or for worse, good or bad, this is the team that the club, the manager, feels like is good enough to compete. Um, we can agree with that. We can disagree with that. At the end of the day, we have no say in it, so we have to go along with it. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to like it, but this is what it is. So you have to go with it. We say all these things about Klopp does so well with less, or he's done so well with less, the things he's done with us before he started to make the team his own. We praised him for that. And sure, as we saw how good he was doing with Liverpool, you would imagine that's how good the money would be coming. Now, it's came in spurts and starts, and we've gotten some amazing players. I think we all can agree with that. In order to compete, yes, the idea is that you have to spend year in, year out. It's January. The window will be closing before we know it. Do I expect to bring someone in? I don't. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we did something like we did last season, where we waited till the last day to bring something in. Surely it's frustrating, whatever the case may be. But I also want to say I'm of two minds, particularly of this most recent game against Arsenal. I think we knew we were going to see, I'll say, some struggles in attacking sense. When you have the best goal scorer in the world, and on form, top goal, I think he might have the most goals across the board in terms of leagues. I could be wrong on that. He's definitely dominating England in terms of that stat. You have Mane, who in my mind I keep saying I disagree with people who are saying he's done, he's over, get rid of him, bring somebody else in over him, start somebody else over him. It's clear that we were going to be missing something in an attacking sense. But here's where I disagree with a lot of people. Although all those things are true about getting players and all that, Arsenal's the match against Arsenal last night was not about having new players or lack thereof. It was about not taking, in this case, the chance you had, the best chance of the game, one of the better chances we will have all season, one of the most clear cut chances. Minamino doesn't take it. It's not a given that you're going to score or trash a team when they go down to 10 men. Sit behind the ball, whatever. That's not a given. And we've seen how teams have been able to, as frustrating as it is, stifle us when they go down to 10. We've seen it at least 2 or 3 times this season. Two that come to mind, including the game last night. So that's not a given. Nothing's a given in football. There are going to be games where you only have 1 or 2 chances. It's up to you to finish it. You can't blame FSG for Minamino missing that chance. You can't blame Klopp for Minamino missing that chance. You can't blame the fact that we don't have reinforcements, ones that anybody's really excited about at this point with injuries, COVID, whatever, for missing that chance. You've got to take it. So forget the 10 men. I'm saying that chance. You got to take that. If we take that, sure, we can sit back and talk about the game and things we didn't like. But I can guarantee you there's a better overall feeling going into that second leg. Hell, going into the game against Brentford Sunday, there's a better feeling because we got a victory after a few results that we just didn't love. Draw, lost to Leicester, whatever. So it's about winning games. We knew that things would be different with Salah and Mane not there. That's obvious. Any team that has players at that caliber that aren't on their team, things will change. But a team that is supposed to be competing, the squad that you have is the squad that you have. There's nothing you can do about that. Sure, you can make some reinforcements in January. If they're going to do that, we'll see. But we haven't. And so, in my mind, that team, without Thiago, without Salah, without Mane, whoever else we were missing out, Naby, whatever, that team is more than good enough to compete and more than good enough to beat Arsenal. Okay, this wasn't Man City. This wasn't a Champions League match against, I don't know, Bayern or Madrid or one of the top dogs. This was Arsenal Football Club. And all due respect to them, am I meant to look at it as this Arsenal team is better than this Liverpool squad? So it gets a bit irritating to start blaming everything else but the performance of the team on that day. And sure, Klopp's substitutions are frustrating at times. His starting midfields are frustrating at times. Milner, Henderson, and Fabinho, I think we can all say, isn't a midfield that anybody is that thrilled about. At the same token, that's our captain and our best DM. For some people, the best DM in the world. So you have at least those two pieces. Now, you can have a third piece that just kind of makes that uneven and doesn't really rock the way you want to rock. But still, that's two of our better players, right? That lineup yesterday was a pretty strong lineup. Firmino, Jota up front, Minamino, that is what it is. But other than that, you've got everybody there. The best center back, most people are saying in the world, particularly definitely in the league. The best two fullbacks in the world, definitely in the league. The best second or tandem center back in the league, Matip. Best goalkeeper in the league in the world, people are saying, and Alisson. You're telling me this team isn't capable of creating more than they created yesterday? So I get what we're saying about building a stronger team, not just starting 11. I get that. But at the end of the day, I have no stake in that. I have no money that I'm giving to them. I support Liverpool. And if that's what the manager thinks is best, you support it. You can be upset. You can wish we did different, and that's fine. I don't knock anybody for doing that. But in a game like that, after a result like that, if we won the game, would you be talking about these things? If we battered Arsenal, which we didn't, I get it. We don't want to talk about ifs, ands, or buts. But just to make a point, that the players on that pitch are capable, and should have created more than they did. You can say, particularly when it went down to 10 men. I'm of a different mindset because 10 men, again, for me, that's not an easy way home. It's just not. Numbers wise, you think because you have one more man, but that doesn't just you don't not just owed a win after that, as we've seen with Liverpool. So you've got to be a bit more creative, less predictable. That was probably the worst performance I've seen Trent in a long time. I won't say ever, but in a long time. It ranks up there as his top whatever bad performances. He doesn't have many of them. Obviously, he has slumps like any other player, but it was a bad performance. The frustrating thing for me is that I feel like every game they talk about Liverpool's one of the best teams from set pieces. Recently, I haven't seen that at all. I mean, the corner kicks are a waste of time at this point, it feels like. Whereas in the past, every team gets excited by a corner kick because it's a chance for you to get a goal, from a set piece. There are teams who, probably practice all week, train all week for those moments. Teams like Burnley, because that's where they feel like they can get one up on a team, whether it be a team on their level or a team high up in the table. So it's frustrating that when we, in a game like that, where the team is going to sit back, particularly getting that man sent off that early, and you still can't get anything from that. I mean, and I'm not, look, the ball gets in the box and they defend it well or goes wide, or at least we get it on target, cool. But a lot of the set pieces from corners I'm talking about specifically are not even making it into that area. I just don't get it. I don't get that. In a game like that, you have to do better at those moments because it's going to be tough either way. So for me, it's more about the players that we do have stepping up. You know what I mean? Like the players that we do have on the team should be playing better. The ones who don't start day in day out when we have everybody fit. The Oxes, um, Minamino, who I'm not going to beat up too bad. That was a terrible miss, but Curtis Jones, who I thought came in and looked one of the best players on our team, which is insane a lot because nobody really stepped up like that. But you got Matip, who's looks like one of the most creative players on our team, which is unfortunate as well. It's a nice addition to have, but that's just center back. He shouldn't be the guy that's knifing through defenses like that. Anyway, in these games when you know they're going to be tough, you got to do something with those moments that you get because there's small margins. We're a great team, but we're not fucking immortal, obviously. You know what I mean? We're not a team that we can just something's just going to come out of nothing. It does sometimes, but you can't. That's not going to happen every game. It's just not. And in those moments, you have to take the chances that you get, which obviously I get it. We only had that one shot on target. But with that chance, it was the best chance of the game for both teams, I think. They basically give us an opportunity to leave the game with 3 points. I'm sorry, not 3 points. Go into the second leg up 1-0, and we blew it. We blew it. So, to me, it's the players that are there that need to look at themselves. It's not about, in my opinion, not after this game, about blaming Klopp, blaming FSG, blaming the fact that we don't have anybody to come in and compete for we get all that. But in that game, we should have done better. And that's what it is. Klopp can't go in and finish that chance for Minamino. The owners can't go in and finish that chance for Minamino. Salah Mane are away. They can't. Minamino has to take that chance. He has to. And I'm sure he's a guy who would like to play more. Those are the moments where you step up and prove that you want to play more by finishing that chance. You have to. So, that's just my few cents about it. I feel like, look, I don't disagree with the people who are coming with a different perspective. But at the end of the day, 1-0, no matter what else went in that game, in my mind, makes us feel, well, I'll speak for myself, makes me feel much better than it does coming out of that game the way it did and not taking that chance. Now in this Brentford game, we dropped points in the Brentford game. I've been trying to hold on for as long as I can, and I'm still believing, still holding on. It's going to be a mountain to climb, but that's what it is. We drop points in the game tomorrow, and I think it's just as gone. You can pretty much kiss the Premier League at least away. You can kiss that goodbye. So it is just focusing on trying to wrap up the semifinal with Arsenal, getting to a final against Chelsea, seeing what happens, doing what we can do in the Champions League. FA Cup is still there as well. So it's not all doom and gloom like some people are and I'm not going to do names, but it's not all doom and gloom. I know we want the league. I get that. Me personally, the Champions League is the holy grail for me. That's what I want. Surely I want the league if we can get it. Surely, but Champions League for me. And I haven't seen us win any domestic competitions beyond the Premier League, of course, recently in a while. So to me, a successful season is Champions League and the 2 domestic cups. That's 3 trophies. That's big for me. So that should be our focus. That should be our focus. Getting past Arsenal, advancing in the FA, and then obviously advancing in the Champions League. Still holding to chances or the hopes of Premier League. It's not over yet, in my opinion. But again, it's not all doom and gloom. It really isn't. At least I don't believe it is. I know it's unfortunate that we're still struggling in games like this where you feel like the mentality of this team should be a bit better. And I mean all the way through. I know we got players who are semi-new compared to other guys, but at the end of the day, the core of this team has been together for a good amount of time. And to struggle in these games like this, like put the Arsenal game away, like just the other games, before that, the Tottenham. And the thing is, and Klopp made a good point in the pre-match. We've had games with Mane and Salah and haven't been able to put teams away when they're down to 10 men. So it's not just about that. It isn't. It's a mentality thing a lot of times. And we call ourselves the mentality monsters, which nine times out of 10, that's what we show. There's that other time here and there that we just don't show that, and it's really frustrating. You don't know where that's coming from. I'll end with this. There is some favoritism that Klopp shows. We get it, and that's the most frustrating thing for me. If you're getting players to come in certain positions as backup, if they're good enough, play them. You don't have to play Robertson every single game unless he's hurt, and that's when or suspended. That's when Simicast comes in. Simicast is. I mean, I almost want to say he's just as good. You know, I wonder if you knock on wood this doesn't happen. You put Robinson out for a season. I think we won't miss much from Simicast if he played that in that position all season. Again, not wishing that, of course, that would be silly, but I feel confident as opposed to like another position on the field where you feel like, oh, so and so got injured. I don't know, but take one of the attacking players for the whole season injured. That would be a little shaky. You put Simicast in a full season, I feel like we still do as good, maybe better. I don't know. Nico Williams, he's still on the team. If you don't believe in him, why is he there? Or get someone who you feel like is close enough to the same quality or better. That's what Liverpool need to be doing at this point. That's what City's doing. That's what big teams do. It's not about getting guys to play backup. It's getting a guy, adding additions to make your team stronger. But again, I just wanted to come here today to say that to me, I agree a lot with what people are saying about having players in and all that, but that's just not our reality, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like we'll never be happy with the team, particularly when we see other teams building upon what they already have. And I get that, but at the end of the day, after a result like that, or the Spurs game, or the Chelsea game, or the Leicester game, it can't be, see, FSG, you're messing us up. Oh, Klopp, you're doing this. No, that can't be it. Because in all of those games, any game that we got a result we didn't like this season, we played a role in not getting that. It wasn't like, it was always a bad ref or, the team was way better than us. A lot of the times we just didn't make it happen in those key moments. Let's really look back at those games. The Brentford draw, the games I just mentioned. Then we have Brighton. Then we draw with Brighton. The loss to West Ham. I mean, it wasn't like these teams played us off the park. We were in all of these games and had enough moments, enough chances to get a better result. That's not about getting better players. That's about making it happen with the players you have that are capable of making it happen. So I hope I'm making sense. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, thumbs down, thumbs up, whatever. I don't ask you guys much. I'm not on here with super chats or asking you to, that's not me. But if you can, please interact. I really want to know genuinely, what you all think on this topic. Even if you disagree, please say it. Please let me know. Let's have some dialogue on this because I just want to gauge the amount of people who are in the category of everything's done, it's terrible, this is all of a sudden a bad season. You blame FSG, you blame Klopp, as opposed to the people who think, look, this is our team. In the games that we got results that we didn't like, we could have done better. And it has nothing to do with FSG or Klopp. Let me know what you think, really. Got to sign off. Got to get back to work. We'll be in New Jersey this weekend. Definitely going to be watching the game. Definitely will be on YouTube. So, look, again, I'm keeping my hope alive with this season. I really am. As gloomy as it looks for the league, as gloomy as it's starting to look maybe in other cup competitions, I still believe this team can make it happen, make it work, and we still can accomplish the goals we set out at the start of the season. Even if it's not all of our goals, they are they're still, in my opinion, there's still 4 trophies to get. The Prem, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League. Even if you take the Prem away, you still got 3, which is a good season if you can accomplish those 3 trophies. So that's me for now, man. Hopefully I've given some positivity, some maybe some people who were maybe down about it. Maybe I've helped you sort of look at it a different way. Maybe not totally convinced you, but hopefully allowed you to look at it in a different way. And that's all I was trying to do with that. Much love to everybody. Thank you all. Hope to speak to you soon.